Hello.
Hi.
Why, hello. Ooh, the Twitch stream went black.
Dun dun.
dun.
And now it's not black anymore. It's all colorful with grids and peoples and stuff.
Grids and peoples and stuff.
Grids and peoples and stuff. So, welcome everybody to Trading Curses for Tyranny. I'm your host, Casey Coyle, and I'll never talk like this again, I promise.
Lies, don't believe them.
Yeah, it's true. I'm lying. So, thanks for joining us. If you're joining us, I completely lost my train of thought. Let's go ahead and say, hey, let's get the attention off me. We'll start with Talays. Do you have any announcements and such that you would like to throw out there? Whoa, I killed her. Dum, dum, dum. All right, let's try Dawn. How about you, Dawn? Any announcements?
I just want to give a shout out to my my middle and high school kids who did follow us and are paying attention to what we're doing. So,
Oh, hello.
hi guys.
Yes.
Aw.
Thank you. And she was bragging about you earlier. I hear there's a kobold in the group that give my kobolds a run for the money. So if you do a good kobold voice, please let me know how. Mine are terrible. Let's see here. That was Dawn. How about Dusk is muted at the moment. Dusk, do you want to throw in?
I've got no announcements to make.
No announcements. All right. Let's hop over to Valandra.
No announcements for me.
No announcements. Joey?
I also do not have anything.
Okay. Chloe?
Announcements other than, little by little. Thank you for the new people that are joining us. And thank you, Effie, for spreading it to them. I hope they enjoy Casey's antics.
Hey, I don't do antics. I just read the box text. You guys do the antics.
Outside of to do with Twitch, we kind of updated the stuff below. So there are chat commands if you guys want to know what they are. There are also there's also a store. So the people that hang out in chat, for every 10 minutes you hang out in chat, you're going to get some points. We call them silver. You can spend your silver on certain things that affect the game. There's only 3 items up there right now, but I'm kind of in the works with anybody that has any suggestions for good ideas that they would like to see impact the players or the DM.
Oh.
Neat. So I'm sure I'll find out later what things are impacting me. But Talays, I skipped you a little bit. Did you have any announcements to make?
Yeah, it's okay that you skipped me because I ran out of the room really
Fair
fast.
enough.
Didn't tell anybody. I do not have any announcements this week.
All right. So with that said, did I get everybody? I think so. Waverly will not be here. The person behind our lovable mouse kin is doing things that are vastly more important than entertaining me. I don't know why, though. So let's do a quick run-up of the orphans, because I didn't get any of those wonderful volunteers that would otherwise stop me from talking. So the orphans of the Warren of Unwanted Burdens took a trip, leaving their orphanage for about a year to go explore the world. They're due to return back, spend one night in the town of Greenest as a reunion, and then go their separate ways. However, when they made their way to Greenest, they discovered that it was under attack by cultists, kobolds, weird little reptiles on the ground, and a huge blue dragon. Shenanigans ensued. Many of the orphans proved themselves to be quite capable and vastly different skill sets than their companions might have expected. They made their way through piles of cultists, all sorts of trouble, found their way to the keep after rescuing several townsfolk, including the old orphanage keeper Glumfellow Prose and Cuth and Linan, who take care of the youngest of the orphans. Once they arrived at the keep, they were told that, oh no, the Temple of Chauntea is under assault. They made their way out through a hidden tunnel, made their way to the temple, cleverly disguised themselves as kobolds and cultists, completely baffled the cultists that were there. Murder happened. No other way to say it. They flat out murdered those guys. Then they let the folks in the temple escape through the smoke while the blue dragon soared overhead. A couple more battles later, everyone was back safe in the keep. They had heard that the mill was under attack, but they deduced that this was a trap, not actually a danger to the town. However, sometime later, they saw to the north carts full of loot making their way through town. They rushed out. More shenanigans. Can't even sum up. You got to go watch that one. Just carts everywhere, things spilling, people flying, small clerics dangling off the sides, casting Word of Radiance, people falling down, people standing up. It was just a complete mess. But they pulled through, and things were looking good until they heard a little laughter from the town square, where they discovered a half-dragon holding several hostages, challenging them to a duel. They elected one of their own. Joey stepped forward. There was a fight. A lot of stuff happened. Joey did remarkably well grappling with the half-dragon, forcing him to the ground, holding him in the flames which surrounded the square. But it just wasn't enough. The enormous blade of the half-dragon felled Joey. Chloe rushed forward, but the kobolds guarding the area pelted her with stones until she fell. The cultists, kobolds, half-dragon then departed with much of the town's loot. The companions made their way back to the keep, rested, gained a little level, and now it is mid-morning. The cultists have had 6 to 7 hours to get on their way, and were moving quite quickly. Most of them had set out even before that duel began. The townsfolk have been interacting with the orphans. Would anyone like those interactions to be made more or less public?
Yeah, Don's
more
not bringing
crickets.
his up.
All right.
I
So-
mean, I don't imagine Joey's could be private because they
Yeah.
keep fucking talking to Joey, and eventually, well, you just gotta flat out try to get people like, listen, I'm just trying to do what was best for everybody.
Yeah, Joey's brand of modesty, a little forceful, a little more enthusiastic than some others.
And obviously with their responses, I don't think that that's exactly going to be a private thing.
That's true. Oh, oh, he's just being modest. You know, it's good that you did it. I mean, if it'd been little Dawn or little Waverly out there, oh, they never made it. You know, you saw Chloe being brought back. You know, she did rush in, but she was struck down pretty quick. You know, I'm glad it was you. You know, we saw you carry him, and you know, he's such a good brother. I wouldn't mind if he carried me somewhere. Wait a second, what was that? So, a lot of different things, but it all basically came back to thanking Joey, and the more uncomfortable maybe he seemed about it, the more charming they seemed to believe that was. So there's been a lot of thanking of people. Also getting kitty piled would be Dusk, who's picked up a following, some of which absolutely are insisting that Dusk could have handled that half-dragon, you know, possibly punching through him, showing his heart to him, and then pulling the hand back out, maybe replacing the heart, maybe not. They're a little unsure. But Dusk is quite popular at the moment among the youngest of the townsfolk.
And she's just absolutely loving the attention. She's telling him the dramatic stories. She's excited that they seem to actually like her. And even more surprising that their parents are actually encouraging them to kitty pile her. So she's very happy about this.
The parents do seem to be encouraging it, possibly because you're acting as a babysitter and they have a lot to do right now.
Right now.
And speaking of a lot to do right now, The town of Greenest has suffered severe damage. The temple is in shambles. The governor's house destroyed. The mill, they did eventually set fire to it, and it was damaged beyond easy repair. You know from experience that this keep that you're in right now is shoddy at best. And many of the houses suffered, they weren't burned down, but they've been looted, and the cultists weren't nice about it. You know, if it wasn't worth carrying, it was probably worth smashing. As that's all going on and everything, Governor Nighthill is urging them to stay, urging them to rebuild. But you can see he's, you know, fighting an uphill battle. Escobar the Red, Castilian, overseer of the keep, sat down next to Chloe, drinking a bit of gruel. He's offered her one as well as she rested up. Chloe, I think, is the only one of you who didn't benefit from magical healing after last night's escapades. So while the rest of you got a bit of a boost, she's healing the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, gruel and, you know, whatever sustenance he offers me. But, yeah, sharing a drink with Escobar, I would definitely be keeping an eye on Joey's reception of all the thanking and just kind of taking an extra swig and sleeping off the hurt. It's not easy to hear that, you know, I was carried out of there by my brother after he fought him. Not easy to hear.
Well, unfortunately, you're hearing it frequently retold. It's a very popular tale right now. As everybody tells about what they saw, where they were standing, you know, even those who were just managed to get themselves up to the wall are braver than those who were huddled downstairs. So everybody wants to pretend, even if they weren't up there watching it, that they saw what was going on. Now, about that time, Escobar stands up, his old bones creaking. He looks worn. This has been a night, even for an old dwarf. He says, "Chloe, would you mind calling your friends together?"
Sure, but I don't know what this is regarding exactly. I mean, you and I were having a talk, but I'll go see what I can gather up. Hold on. And she'll, get up on one knee and then put her hands on the other knee and kind of get up and stretch out and crack her back and kind of look a lot like him, I'm guessing. Only she shouldn't. She'll kind of try and part paths through the crowds to get to Joey first. And just, you know, put her hand on his shoulder and, you know, make eye contact with him and nod at him.
Nod.
And then she'll jerk her thumb back towards Escobar.
Poignant moment between the half-orc twins. So, Escobar plods up to the group. Now, I broached the subject last night, and I know it's hard to hear, but the town's in trouble. And while I can't ask you to go after and, you know, bring it all back, it would set a lot of minds at ease if you could track these cultists and find out if they're coming back to give us some warning, or, you know, why. That fella in there has been no help. And he gestures to the cultist in the closet.
Well, from what we've gathered so far, it's nothing more than they're just raiding all the towns in this area. I mean, they've got their goals, and this town just happened to stand in the way of those. Now, you and I talked about how bad shape this your fortress is here, and she kind of gestures around. So, what are we looking at as far as funds to fix this kind of thing? That's number one. You guys got to take care of your town. Whether or not me and, the rest of the orphans here go out and do this crazy mission, which I'm not saying we will, what are you guys going to be doing, or what are you able to do here to protect the rest of these people?
Well, there's precious little that we can do. Ooh. There's precious little that we can do right now. So I lost it. The governor. He was the town's treasury. Try as we might to get him nobled. Their family just was never given that grace. The keep itself can only be held by a nobleman. It's the law of this land. Any other fortification would be an insult to one, if not more, kings. I hold this land. I'm of the Red Clan, but there's none to pass it to. When this was built 400 years ago, Queen of the Greenest. Little girl, no. Dead long before her time. But we need someone. Anyone. If you can ensure that the cultists will not be passing back through this way, wherever they're raiding, so long as they don't come back through here, I think enough people will stay that we can get the grains planted, the harvest in, repairs on the mill, some upkeep. But without a treasury, we can't hire stonemasons. We can't bring in enough wood. We can't quarry. The grasslands don't supply what we would need.
Well,
It'd be some time, but we're no worse than we were. Just scared.
I think this might be the time that Dusk wants to pipe up
Fire away.
something. Well, we can't leave him here with nothing. And I kind of want to go after him too. I want to see what's going on. And on top of all that, well, turns out that they might have taken someone with them who might have known a lot more about the clan than we do. And I kind of want to go get him back.
Of course you do.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Wait, they took somebody with them?
Well, one of the monks here, he was telling me about one of his masters lives and apparently he was spying on these guys. He was tracking them, getting all their information, and they think that he might have gotten this all swept up when they started raiding through the town. Took them with them because, I mean, if somebody found all of your organization's secrets, you'd probably want to get rid of them too. But I think we should go after him at the very least. Not only is he like super strong from what I'm hearing and he can help us out, but he'll know a lot more about the cult that we can use to protect the town in case they ever come back.
Wait, from this town? Who is this? And what's a monk doing all the way out here? Like somebody who's nimble and crafty? I mean, you're the exception. Obviously. Takes boot off, puts in mouth.
Oh.
You can speak Draconic?
I think that is a question better answered by the DM because I have no clue.
Okay. So as you are speaking, Dusk, you can look around and you do see the young man you were speaking with, Nassim, is close and sort of leaning in your direction in that whole I'm not eavesdropping because you can notice me kind of way. And as you look over, he sort of waves his hand and he moves over towards the group. Escobar takes a step back, giving an eye up. And it's clear that this man is from a land where there's a lot more sun. He is bronzed. And he took some damage to his leg. Looking at him, you know he'll be limping for quite a while. And he says, I'd heard that you intend to follow the raiders and see where they've gone. If I could, I would go with you. But I can't in the condition I am. My master, as the young lady has said, Leozen, he's been investigating these raiders, these cultists, for months. I fear he might have tried to infiltrate the group when they were retreating, or worse, he was captured and carried away as a prisoner. No one understands these bandits and this cult better than he does, and his knowledge will be invaluable against them. If you could find their camp, see what's happened to him. One of my brothers, a fellow monk, has already departed for Berdusk to bring back help, but it'll be many days before that help arrives, and if they hide him, if they ferret him away, we can't help. The monks, we'd be willing to lend help to this town, or some other reward if you should so choose, but we need help now.
Well, I think anybody who's against the weirdo cultists over there is probably somebody we want on our side. I
Yeah.
want to help them out.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
Valandra is completely convinced.
sounds like this just turned into a rescue mission. One way or the other.
Like Dusk has got like those big, like round kitty eyes. It's just like, oh, look at him, he's so sad. Like, you know, like kind of like doting on the poor thing, but without actually saying it.
And to add a little to the giant kitty eyes, grasped in Nassim's hand is a broken staff. It looks to be the sort that a monk would carry. Leozen's staff. And Dusk has taken his choker. You will know it is him. He will bear a similar mark, tattoos on his wrists. And Dusk, do you still have that choker handy?
Yep, here it is.
Okay. On that choker, it's a piece of braided leather, and chased into the leather are silver dragon motif.
Pretty distinctive thing, but I figured we should keep the choker with us at least, just to help us make sure.
And that way, he would know that you had spoken with me.
Come on, they were trying to help the town. It's the least we could do for them.
My concern's not really with this town so much. I mean, we save them from the current problem. My concern is what those guys are going to do as they continue on down the road. This isn't the first, and it won't be the last place that they raid this way. Won't be the last amount of people that are, terrified for weeks, months, years down the road because of this. I think Dusk is right. I think we got to do something about this. And I mean, clearly, looking around here, and she kind of gestures towards Escobar. And it's like, they ain't exactly very capable of protecting themselves right now, especially right now. They need to rebuild. They need time. And it sounds like this monk guy is a good guy to have on our side. He's going to need help if he's out there all alone. Whether he infiltrated them or he's a prisoner, he's going to need help.
And think about it, while we're off stopping the cult, the monks can protect the town while they're trying to rebuild.
Oh, of course, my brothers would be happy to assist in any way that they can.
And you said that this cord that you gave her, this choker, that'll, let him know we're cool if we get it to him. He's not gonna, like, do that thing that Dusk does to everybody, to us.
I,
Oh no, Leozen knows many ways to identify the cult. It is among the reasons that he is so valuable to them, alive rather than dead. So even should he be captured, they would want to learn his secrets first. He would be able to tell there are certain signs. I do not know him. He has not shared them with anyone else.
All right, so what? Do we take a vote here? Who's against this idea? I guess we'll start there. And she's just kind of looking around.
Dusk is notably pinning Dawn with a look.
Just rolls his eyes, but he's not saying anything.
And then Dusk just fluffs herself up like, yes, good.
I imagine Dawn and I look very similar in this immediate instance. Just like a lack of eye contact and a lack of saying no, and a distinct lack of saying yes.
Talace is also doing that. She's kind of off against the wall, like just leaning against it, not saying anything, but she's also not saying no.
All right, with the TAC term agreement. Anyone? Chloe, it goes back to you. Doesn't seem like anyone is saying now.
Well, look. I mean, the plan was to come here, to have our reunion, to pay our respects to the orphanage that raised us, and we did that and more. So, as far as I'm concerned, any of you want to leave and not pursue this, you're free to go. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about you, Glumfellow, but I feel like all of us has more than paid our debts to this town, and to you and, your fine establishment. If anybody leaves here, as far as I'm concerned, no hard feelings. I understand you risked your lives, all of you, more than once. But what I'm saying is, I don't have a home to go to. Joey, I know you don't either. And, you guys are the closest thing to family that I've ever had, and I would like to keep us all together as long as possible, and this is a noble cause. This is something where we could actually go out and make use of these skills that we all have. And I think a chance to do that and help some people at the same time is a good enough reason for me to go.
Philanda's eyes are
Alright.
wide and slightly shining with some amount of hero worship in them right now. At your speech there, but
And don't you start crying, then I'm gonna start crying. I'm not a pretty crier. Don't start. No. And she just looks away.
Escobar gives you that few seconds. And then as soon as you, here, here. And then everyone around Joey turns and goes, thank you, Joey.
God
God
fucking
damn it.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad you agreed. So, if there's anything that we can provide you on your trip, the town's in ruins, but food, water skins, of course. You have bedrolls, tents. What do you need?
Well, I mean, we all haven't exactly agreed to this just yet. We need some time. I mean, we only had the one night to rest. So, a nice place to rest, and obviously we'll need provisions for those of us that are going. And so I see that some of these people have filtered out and started, trying to piece together the rest of their houses and things like that. Of the dead bodies, we ask that anybody that picks those up or anything, that we can keep the cloaks and any of the paraphernalia that those things have. If we end up going on this mission, we're going to need something to disguise ourselves.
Oh, the cultist cloaks, of course. we were burning them, but yes.
Yeah,
we can
stop
save
that.
you.
No more burning the things. Just put them in a pile. We'll go through them, and then you guys can burn everything.
So, Zach, come quickly! And Zach, kind of bleary-eyed, stumbles out of a room.
Morning, Muffin. You look half asleep.
Hey. Hi, Dusk. Hi, Chloe. You look nice. What? Quick, go. Tell them to disrobe the bodies before they burn. Keep the robes, keep the cloaks, keep the equipment. All right. So Zach sort of just start shuffling off. He doesn't look all that well rested, but I don't think anyone does. As he makes his way out to where in the distance, now as you see him moving in that way, you can see trail of black, kind of greasy smoke rising up where they must be burning bodies and other things. All right, well, that'll get you settled there. Now, as far as rest, I mean, every hour we wait, they have another hour of travel. How long should you need? Of course, the barracks will have those emptied for you immediately.
Well, I just mean a place to set up shop and get ready to go. We're not planning on staying here for another week. It's just a matter of organizing our equipment and, talking about our plan. Just a private place for us to be. I mean, up until now we were with Glumfellow over at the orphanage. We don't exactly have a place here. Can we have a temporary home here?
The barracks are yours. And he calls another guard over and he looks around and all the guards are out. He's, Tarball, come on. And Tarball comes over and quickly now, clear out the barracks. They're going to set up shop there for a little bit before they head out. Thank you. My kids, my voting public sure does appreciate this. And then you guys are laughing at all the wrong things here. He clears out the barracks. You guys now have, a fairly good-sized workroom. Certainly enough beds, tables, chairs to make yourselves comfortable in.
So the governor is gone now, then, right?
Governor is cleared out. A couple of people remaining, and he's still in the area, though.
Yeah, seeing the governor go away, she'll kind of lean in a little bit closer to Escobar and say, "I do need one more thing," and she takes her backpack and takes out the items that the governor had given her, and she says, "Now, these items, I know will sell for a good amount, and the governor doesn't need fancy finery right now as much as this town needs rebuilding. I need a merchant here that is capable of running fast." In the opposite direction that the cultists went to go sell these things and bring back the money to help rebuild this town. Do you think you can handle that?
Oh, yeah, of course. We'll gather up what bits remain, any finery that happens to be about, and send it off for the supplies we'll need. The nails, tar, of course. And he starts listing off some of the things that that will be needed for rebuilding the town. At least the basic structures.
And then maybe spend some of that on some classes to teach these guys how to fight a little bit, or to hold a sword, or armor properly, or something like that. Anyway, and if the governor's got any problems with me selling his stuff, this is on me. You tell him I'll talk to him when I get back.
You missed the point of the governor. His stuff is our stuff. He's not bragging when he says if he looks good, we're doing well. His family only owns a small bit. The rest is, the town's property. He's a good man. A little strange. But our best bet for nobility rested on the governor's head, and unfortunately just wasn't enough. But maybe our luck will turn around.
Luck is what you make it, but let's go out and make some good luck.
Valandra will speak up and ask if they have any, of the herbs or raw materials that might be needed to make potions of healing, because she can make them herself. She doesn't have the.
Technically, so can Dawn. So he might perk up at that knowledge you can do this.
So as you two exchange those knowing glances, Escobar says, I think Edian's already lamenting the burning of his temple and everything that was kept within. The governor's mansion is where all else was kept. They barely left a leaf. We'll scrounge about and see what we can find, and if there's anything, of course, you're welcome to it. But I don't know what they would have left. We sent out that last potion of healing we had with Zach. He did get that to you.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that was the last we had of it. The other healing herbs, of course, that have been applied with the bandages and the poultices. But, if anything can be found, it'll be yours. And if someone would like to take the fate of the party in their hands and roll me a D100, you want to.
Not me, guys. I've been rolling low today.
I can do it. 88.
Whoo!
88.
See,
That is
that's
a
nice
high
and
number.
high. Nice and high.
So,
that's a relief.
we will say that given the time between now and when you should depart, they are able to bring together 88 gold pieces worth of healing herbs that could really only be used to make healing potions. So, if you guys would like to try and make healing potions off of those, you certainly may. I believe that takes a little bit of time, though.
Takes 1 day to make just the regular healing potion.
And Dawn can take whatever she makes, and over the course of like an hour, he can take what she makes and make it so that it will give the max amount.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a feat he took.
There you go. So some healing potion creation, maybe. Not sure if you're going to have that much time this morning as the bandits continue to extend their...
But it's definitely like they could have a moment to be like, hey,
Sure.
this could happen, and then I could do this.
Yeah, cue the cool crafting montage with you two, please.
So
as some 80s rock music playing in the background, is anyone else asking for anything of Escobar and the governor as they scramble about to equip you?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to be not asking for something, but I'll just be dropping. I have in my inventory 70 gold pieces worth of Greenest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have it labeled as shit, but I'll drop all of that bag of shit onto the ground. I'm hoping it's still in the bag and be like, this was the town's. Can you just get it back in that rotation?
Of course. Thank you. It's more than we could have hoped.
I agree. Very lucky.
Thank you, Joey.
He's gonna
Just
be a
making
town
it
hero
worse.
at this rate.
He's just making it worse.
He's like Father Christmas right now. He's like, bag of loot. Boom.
On that note, though, Dusk also has about 90 GPs worth of random miscellaneous objects she picked up throughout the town. So, may as well just drop that down as well, although she's still not giving back the other bag that's full of jewelry.
Okay. So please deduct bags of loot from your inventory. Now, Dusk, while everyone did say thank you, Joey, the reaction for your bag of loot is quite different. A horde of children descend upon it.
Oh my god.
And pluck things out, holding them in the air, and start running around asking everyone they can whose it is.
Oh.
So it is just pandemonium as
Look at him go.
able-bodied assistants start spreading the loot about. Most of it does get sent back to the governor and Escobar to be put towards the fund for rebuilding the town. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes.
Talace, it needs to get. She would like to approach Escobar and the governor alone.
Okay.
And first thing I'd like to talk about is the prisoner.
Well, It's obvious he's committed crimes deserving of death, but what should you like done with him?
I think that if you execute him, it will be what he expects. I think that you should keep an eye on him, keep him under guard, put him in chains, and make him help you rebuild. Treat him well, because he expects to be treated poorly. He expects evil to be done to him.
Girl, he's the blessings of the gods about him. I've seen him working dark feats. We don't have a way to keep a man like that contained. At least, nothing I'd be willing to do to a man. I mean, I'd have to crush his fingers, pull out his tongue, burn out his eyes. There's no other way with folks have given themselves over to dark power like that.
A cleric's a cleric.
They are.
You know that spells often have to be cast with your hands, right?
As I said, we could crush his hands, but
Okay, okay. Pass
seems-
with the
it seems a
crushing of the hands. You're really obsessed with this.
well,
Have you never heard of chains in your whole life?
on each finger?
Oh my god.
And as you
Like talking to a wall.
as you talk, give me a quick Arcana check if you would.
Sure. By the way, the accent's not working for me, guys. I'm gonna have to go back to my normal voice. I can't maintain.
All
Yeah,
right.
not
So, actually, it is good enough for you to give it a little bit of thought, and even knowing your own skills and how creative you can get in bringing them to bear when restrained. I'm not going to ask what you were up to when you figured that out, but there are.
I love how my character development keeps happening because of Case's assumptions.
There are a lot of ways for spellcasters to cause trouble if they are not really chained up. It would be very difficult for a town like this to secure a cleric. Almost to the point of they have to kill him unless something drastic is done to him.
And that something drastic would almost certainly be enough to prevent him from helping them to rebuild.
Yes, we would be looking at, at removal of the hands as a functioning device, however that may be. Verbal and somatic and material are the three components of just about any spell.
Mhm.
And clerics can get into a lot of trouble with just a few of those.
Talais is not happy with these options at all.
I mean, we can keep him bound in the closet, but trying to put him to work. We can keep him bound till you return and give us a good option. Maybe there's some other way, but it's not one I know.
I don't want him mutilated.
Well, then we'll keep him in the closet, keep him bound, keep him fed and clean, but we can't have him out and about. There's too much chance for mischief.
That's
Too much
fair.
chance he'll bring the evil eye.
Oh my god. Don't. Wow. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Is there any chance that there might be a third horse and cart somewhere around here that wasn't stolen by a bunch of kobolds?
I wish there were, but any horses they could find, they take, and horses aren't quiet creatures. There's carts, but you'd be pulling it.
Make things a lot easier if we had we were able to use a cart for travel, so that Chloe could actually rest.
Did I get a chance to rest? Like, I know I didn't get magical healing, but did I rest?
You would have had a long rest at this point.
Okay.
Look, she's
But
worried
you're-
about you. She would like you to have as much downtime as possible.
Oh, after the last session of cart madness and you going down and then me going down, I'm worried about you too. It's mutual. I want a cart. Who doesn't want a cart? Joey can drive it. Dust can drive it.
Oh, well, I was really hoping they would have left behind some horses.
Or a mule or something.
No, they took everything that wasn't nailed down.
Hey, that prisoner
Actually-
might be of good use. You know, we could just,
Have him
attach
pull a
stuff.
cart?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Think that would That would just be weird.
Hands.
If we let him go, we'd go that way anyway. So
we can't just let him go. I mean, we'd have to make him think that he got out.
Now, as far as tracking the cultists on that note, even from the tower, you can see that they've trampled a pretty good swath of the greenfield grass down. You know they were heading southwest out of town, and you doubt it would be very hard to follow them. They did have 2 heavily laden carts, several other horses, and then all of the cultists, kobolds, and lizard creatures, leaving fairly distinctive tracks.
yeah, I think we're all just gonna have to hoof it out there. It doesn't seem like this town has enough money to rebuild themselves, let alone give us a cart to send us off with.
Well, as I said, if you want the cart's yours, but it's the pole in it that's the trick.
Well, thanks for the option. Appreciate it. And that's all Felice has to say about any of the situation.
And on that note, or that part of the conversation, Waverly makes an appearance after having been scouting about the keep. Tips of her ears tinged slightly pink with exertion. She comes down, catches up on the situation, offers to set out and scout ahead, and leave markers for you should there be any difficulty determining which way the cultists have gone. A little bit of concern for Waverly, perhaps, and she points out that the grass is taller than she is, so hiding's just a matter of walking. And that seems like a good enough explanation, so off Waverly goes to scout ahead, knowing that you will follow eventually.
I am team 100% Waverly scouting ahead plan. That's amazing. I feel like we will not get lost if we have someone who can actually scout ahead for us.
And you guys, I think, have probably played the game of let's lose strangers, so you know the trail markers that Waverly tends to leave, which way they align stones and such. Anything else you guys would like to do before we set off on the next leg of adventure?
The launch is ready to go.
I guess I would go and make sure that Zach is doing okay and his sister is not being too much of a. I mean, we did rescue her and everything, but like in a
Oh,
totally
geez.
friendly way. I want to
Oh,
make sure he's
Chloe.
okay.
Zach's doing fairly okay. When he sees, hey, Chloe.
Oh, okay, good. You sound great. Okay, all right. Good luck. Keep the town safe. Don't let them in again. Okay, bye.
Bye, Chloe. So he sort of heads back over to the tower where you saw him come from a little while ago, and he marches back up to the top and does his lookout thing. His sister Charity is let's let's call that one a perception, if you would.
Oh. Oh, baby, yes.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Where
You
is
don't
she?
understand.
Chloe, Charity is marching about town. You can see her from a distance, and even from this distance, you can see how forcefully every step she takes is made. Her heel is divoting the ground. You can see her bouncing as she walks. You have not seen her this pissed since the name Webby stuck. But she does appear intact and carrying a babe in one arm who seems to be very much enjoying the bouncy. But she seems intact and okay and back to bossing around whatever townsfolk will listen to her.
They're like, is she being unnecessarily mean, or is she just like, clean this up or do that? Like, can I tell? I don't even know where she is in proximity to me right now, though.
She is in 200 to 300 feet away from you, down towards the mansion. So you can't hear her, you just see her. People are reacting to her about the same way they usually, so she's probably not much worse than normal. She does look completely disheveled, and wearing the same clothes she had last night. 2 and 2 says probably all her clothes are out with the cultists or in the mud.
Yeah, so at some point before we leave, I would go up to her as well and just kind of, walk up behind her and be like, you doing okay?
Oh, no.
And as she hears that from one of the orphans, Talise or somebody behind her, she's like, no, I'm making sure she's okay.
It was Talise, and Talise is covering her mouth, trying not to laugh. She is hiding amusement hardcore.
I'm fine. It is fine. Thank you.
That sounds good. All right. Well, it's nice to see that you're being so nice to these other town folk that had their, families murdered and stuff, okay? So you just make sure that you're nice to people, and we'll go ahead and take care of the big bad guys, okay? So you don't have to get, stolen again or whatever happened to you.
And on that, she just turns away and gives just like sort of noise.
Bye, sweetie. Nice talking to you.
Lace has her mouth completely covered. She's breathing through her fingers, just dying, laughing. Just trying not to laugh too loud.
So Webby, otherwise known as Charity, stomps her way away down the road back to what used to be a mansion. Anything else folks would like to do before setting out?
Talise, when Chloe comes back, she just gives Chloe a good pat on the shoulder, just clearly beaming about the entire thing that just happened there and not giving anything up about why she's so happy.
Chloe's already got the same grin. Like, she was looking right for Talise when she came back. Like, yeah, I got it. Just had to do, finish up my business before leaving here.
Oh, Chloe, you will never know how much I really appreciate you.
Right. So as the orphans settle their business in town.
Did you just call us the torment?
No, I said I just lost it completely. I was laughing too hard. Trying to pull it back together, and I couldn't.
I thought you were starting to say the turtles.
No.
Oh, God.
I was going for as the orphans finish their torment, and it was just the wrong. So let's we'll edit that part out. Good thing we're not live streaming this.
I was gonna say that's not how that works, Casey.
There's a 5-second delay, right? I can take that away. So anything else before we head out? And if nobody comes up with anything, would somebody do me the favor of taking control of the party's fate and rolling a survival check?
Someone who's got it good.
Let's see. I have a +4 in survival. I'm not trained, but I have a good wisdom. Does anyone else have a
I
better
cannot.
survival?
I cannot do
I'm-
better.
I am trained in survival and I have +4. So maybe if you want to, try to lead and then I'll advise and help you out with that
And-
guidance.
That seems like a good plan. Advantage given.
Okay. So
We do want to see high. High is good.
Ooh,
16.
thank God for that
16.
advantage.
Thank goodness for that advantage indeed. You easily follow the way markers that are left behind by your forward scout. As you are moving ahead, one of the way markers is the little skull and crossbones symbol of pirates ahead or possibly danger. You guys never really figured out what Waverly meant by that one. But it is an indication that something ahead is troublesome. If I could have perception checks from everybody as the world goes dark for a moment.
Nice. Jesus.
What?
Dusk and Joey, what were you two chatting about back there?
I feel like
Shoving
Dust
each
might have
other
still.
around.
I feel like Dust might have still been chasing the children around. I think.
No,
Fair
no,
enough.
Dusk, I get it. I know you wanted to fight the blue guy, but what's gonna happen when he puts the sword through your chest? I got that armor. It's gonna blunt most of that. You can fight him next time, though. Okay? Got you.
Right. As that goes.
I'm kind of heartened to see that the cultists and the kobolds aren't friendly enough to be sharing a fire.
It is a divisive set. Dawn, I dragged you on and clicked you off. I do that. Come back here, Dawn. All right, and if you guys would be so kind as to arrange yourself in the order in which you would typically walk, you guys are heading south, and as you do so, the grasslands break up a little bit, drying out. You know that further ahead to the south, the ground falls away and the stones rise in plateaus. Right now, it's just sort of stair-stepping down. Past one of those stair steps on what would be your right, a little fire has been lit, and you can see several men and women hunkered down around it, cooking a bit of meat. Several kobolds are rushing back and forth, taking pieces of the meat, but they don't seem to be willing to share the fire with the cultists. Anyone rolled a perception less than a 1 doesn't get an action this turn, but I don't think anybody was that bad. So let's go ahead and bring out the turn order. Let's clear it off. I will ask everyone to please click their token now and add themselves to the initiative. For giggles, as I roll this, if you guys would like to try and roll, you certainly may, but I believe several members of your party are not very good at that.
I think you broke up at part of that. Try and roll what?
Yep.
Sure.
Roll what?
So if you guys would like to, you may roll stealth. The lowest score is what would be used, and I think several of your party members are ridiculously bad at being stealthy.
I will just not roll to
Clank,
save you guys
clank,
all the
clank,
trouble.
clank.
Okay.
-1 with disadvantage. Yes.
Okay. We're gonna say you probably are making enough noise to be. So, on the upside, on the downside, no surprise at the moment on either team. However, the kobolds, as they are scampering back and fire, look up in your direction, you hear the hissing.
What are they saying?
They're saying, Matata, Hakuna, Matata.
And Talais
as-
tells them this, and the look on her face is like, I think it's some kind
Okay.
of weird foreign song.
Actually, it's not a song, you would think, based on...
Based on what?
the-
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Hang on here, what's going on with my voice?
Yeah, you're
how about
cutting
now?
out.
It's Robot Casey.
Uh-oh. Come on, internet. What are you doing? How about now?
You're fine right now.
Okay. We will...
As Valandra goes robotic.
Internet. So, it seems to be their names. As one of them rushes forward, the one that everyone was shouting Hakuna to, starts spinning a sling and launches a stone in the direction of Chloe, who's leading up the team. Now, from this distance, it's a long shot, but they're willing to take it. At least they would be if the DM was good and had his cards open. Chloe, does an 18 get you?
Nope.
Nope.
Although, dang, close.
Kobolds are no joke in this game, apparently. Hakuna passes, Rhodes stands, rawr, draws his scimitar, and readies himself. Olran the kobold starts rushing forward. Launches another sling stone at Chloe. How about a 20?
That does hit.
5 points of bludgeoning damage from the eerily accurate kobolds. Delays. What you doing?
I am going to. 1 second, let me see my stuff here. I need to see what my distance is because I know what I want to do.
And by the way, everybody
Perfect.
listening, there's new levels and new spell levels. So
Yeah,
all kinds
I
of new
know.
toys coming out. What are we
I
doing,
know.
Talace?
So, Talais, who is in plenty range of all these lovely folks over here by the fire, she's gonna cast Shatter.
Excellent.
Probably about to have a bad day. Go ahead and
About
give
to
me
have
the
a
cast.
really freaking bad day. We're gonna cast it at level 2.
At level 2, DC 14 Constitution saving throw, starting at 12 noon and going around clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love that picture.
Thank you. I made it myself.
All right, 2 fails, 2 passes. That's gonna be bad for some of these. They barely manage to stand, and then they fall. Still clutching their oversized turkey legs. That's what you eat around a campfire. Talays, any bonus action or movement for you?
I'm not gonna move, but will I bonus action? That's the question. There's so much stuff that I can do now, guys. There's so much stuff I can do, so it's hard to choose. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on a bonus action at this point.
Right.
I'll hold off. I think we're gonna be okay with this one.
Fezro the kobold rushes forward. Because it's apparently so easy to hit Chloe, they're going to keep trying. 15, not going to do it. Joey.
Joey's like, this is like, are we having reoccurring flashbacks? What is this? Is any of this rock like actual cover, or is it just minor inconveniences?
Minor inconveniences.
Okay. I guess I'll close in this 30 feet this way. And then, seeing that's not close enough to anybody, I've got my great axe in my one hand. My other one's just going to conjure up a nice little eldritch javelin-like looking thing and throw at this guy. Looks a little bit more... Well, it looks the same amount of dark. Looks a little bit more forceful.
Okay.
Hey, we recognize these guys, don't we? Dusty and Rhodes.
Dusty Roads. I don't
I'm
know.
pretty
Do we
sure. I'm
recognize
pretty sure we've met these guys before.
them? You might have met. But Joey, I don't know that that's gonna hit.
Yeah, too much oomph.
Little
Not enough accuracy.
Blomp, a little back kick. Any additional action for you?
I'm just gonna draw a dagger, and that'll be it.
All right, Tucha rushes forward. He does get within range. Standard attack, sling. Joey, I think you may be taking 8 damage from
That'll
that.
do it.
Dusk. It is to you.
Well, let's see. I think Dusk is probably going to pounce the closest one in range and punch them. I just got to see which one is actually closer. Let's see, that one's 50 and that one's...
That one's dead.
Those two are dead.
That's already dead. Dang, I can't
Yes.
see how zoomed out I am. Right,
Sorry.
so this one's closest, I think. So let's go for that one. Let's go for Fezro here.
All
She
right.
can zoom on over and just punch him, because why not?
This
You're
has
good
been
at
effective
it.
for you in the past.
I mean, it works. Let's see.
12 is surprisingly a hit. Please roll me damage.
Awesome.
Nice.
6
that
points
wasn't
of
as strong as I
damage.
thought it would be.
You don't remove the heart, but the children in Greenest will tell it like you did. That is enough to strike down Fezro.
I need to move myself.
Go ahead and scoot yourself over there, and then any bonus action.
No, not right now.
Not
Can't
right
move.
now. You got it. That's going to bring up Faki the kobold. Rushes forward. Is that close enough? Not quite. Disadvantage. Throws at the big kitty. 10, I don't think, is going to hit Dusk. Nielsen is quite dead. Valandra, it is to you.
Okay. Valandra will move up here and cast, let's see, probably just Sacred Flame, to be honest.
Sure.
So Sacred Flame on, let's go Tua. There.
Tuha on the Sacred Flame. Yes, please. DC 14 Dexterity saving throw. Kobold's not quick enough. 2 points of damage struck. He looks a little fried, but still standing.
Yep.
Any additional action for you?
No. I'm good for right now.
You got it. Aiko, number 1, rushing forward. Dagger, dagger. No. No. 14 Dusk?
Nope.
No. All right. Aiko tried. Tried real hard. Dusty. Good old Dusty. Dusty's going to leave Joey for and instead go after Valandra. Scimitar at Valandra. No.
No.
No, very no. Chloe, how are we doing?
Great. I'm going to run up in front of Joey next to Dusty, and even though it's at disadvantage, I want to kill the one that I haven't seen move yet, so I'm going to throw a javelin at Carmen. And I'm not going to do anything.
That is going to be a miss. Carmen's like, yeah, that's the way to do it. You run up next to my buddy, and then you... Good plan. Good plan. A little smack talk happening. Rally rushes up from downtown at dusk. 16 dusk? Actually, no, sorry, 14 dusk. I don't think that does it.
Nope, it does not.
Nope, it does not. Cover because he's throwing through his buddies. Matata finally finishing up the second half of the song. He's going from downtown at dusk. No cover on this one, but you do get the disadvantage. 10, nope. Carmen bringing it in. And remind me, because I've just gone stupid, we are not playing flanking, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Think so?
Correct. Okay. Sorry, I just went dumb. Chloe is 16? I don't think.
Negative.
Negative. Dawn.
Well, Dawn is going to... Okay. He's actually going to step back and away. And double checking. Yeah, he could hit everybody if he wanted to. He is going to Eldritch Blast Orlan as he's running up.
Orlan.
Choo!
Pew, pew, pew. Orlan is hit. Please roll me damage. Dawn seems to be a little better at this whole blasting, Joey. Just saying. Any additional action for you?
Nope, he's just going to hang here and keep an eye on all these kobolds and hopefully pick them off one at a time. That is his
Alright.
plan.
Hakuna. Rushing forward. Dagger, dagger. Advantage, advantage. Pack tactics. Dagger? Dagger. Dusk. That's going to be 7 points of damage dealt to you as Hakuna stabs into your flank.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. That's going to bring up a dead road. That's going to bring up a dead Orland. That's going to bring it back to Talaise, who started things off with a bang. What you got?
She did start things off with a bang, didn't she?
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Okay, she's gonna move. I'm gonna move first. Pretty sure that's where I wanted to be. And perfect. And then she is going to cast Thunderwave.
Boom!
Just want to do it, huh?
I really have been wanting to do it forever, and I can now. We're gonna do that.
Absolutely.
We're just gonna do that at level 1.
Fire it up.
All right. Bam. DC 14.
14 con. Ooh, he does make it. And 4 points of damage leaves him standing. But he is reeling. Sort of bumps off of dust like, sorry. I'll stab you next time. Talaise, any additional action for you?
How's everyone looking? Everybody okay? so far.
Dusk is the only one that looks like they've been scratched.
I took a little dink earlier, but looked fine, okay.
Most everyone's full up, so we'll
Yeah.
Joey, I
go.
can't even tell you got a pixel missing, buddy. What are you talking about?
Right? It's almost impossible to tell. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Fezro is dead. Joey, that brings it back to you.
So I'm gonna step up. I don't like this. I don't like all these people getting around Chloe here. Actually, back here, I will drop my great axe.
Okay.
And then I will draw another dagger, and we're just gonna gut this guy that's right behind Chloe.
That's gonna gut him right there.
And then I'll just kind of push him over a little bit.
Okay.
And then step forward too and throw my offhand dagger at Tuha.
Tuha, thrown dagger, is gonna hit, and he's already been damaged. But this just isn't enough. He's just staggering around now. Dagger in one leg,
This
blast on his
fucking
chest.
guy.
He's tough.
And
Joey, an additional action.
I'm gonna back up to step above my great axe because I don't want anybody taking that shit.
Fair deal. And that brings up the action of Tuha, who rushes forward, pulling the dagger out of his leg, the other one in his hand, attempting to stab Dusk. Dagger, both at advantage. 15, 19?
15 no, 19 yes.
All right. Only 1 point of damage from the offhand dagger of Tuha. And then Dusk, you have a plethora of enemies to deal with, some of which have scratched you recently.
Okay.
Just very gently.
just so you know, that's a fairly creepy giggle.
I was sorry. I was considering wasting a key point, but I probably should not. In that case, I'm going to go for Hakuna since he was the one who stabbed me the worst. So let's do another punch. Oh,
Ooh, that's a lot of hit. Please deal damage.
Not that you really need to.
That is oh, he is a passing craze. Let's go with that. And anything else for you, Dusk?
I've discovered that I can in fact punch again as a bonus action.
I think you can, yes.
So I'm going to go after Akko.
Akko!
Right in front of me. Oh, that one didn't.
Oh, that is a miss.
Darn.
New to this whole second attack thing, perhaps. Any additional action for you?
Probably wine because I'm guessing the stab wound hurts.
It does a little, yeah. Not gonna lie. That's gonna bring up Faki. Faki, ooh, can reach. It is pile up on the kitty time, and it's not the good kind the kids do. Dagger on the advantage. 17?
Nope.
17, nope.
Nope.
Wow.
Monks
Pepper
add
is
their
really
charisma,
thick.
remember?
Oh, that's right. And
Monks have good AC.
She is a pleasant kitty to be around. Valandra, though, just carrying the heavy armor and shield, I think. Well, what are you up to?
Yep. I will scoot around so I can reach all of these three and Word of Radiance.
Certainly may. What is? Ooh, that's
but I don't know what you were asking.
Oh no, just what word do you say radiantly?
Um.
See here. So we're gonna go left to right. 3, 1, 2. Ooh, come on, guys. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Bam.
All right. Valandra lays ball, and they drop.
And I will cast healing word on Dusk there.
Absolutely may.
Dusk, how many are you down?
I am down 8.
Oh, okay. I can't possibly do less than that. So you're
Oh.
at full.
Amazing. Thank you.
Please go ahead and deduct the spell slot and any additional movement for you.
Let's see. Well, I wasn't going to because I didn't want to take tax of opportunity, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. So just a moment. Let me scoot out to more of that. There's only 3 of them left.
There is only 1, 2, 3 of them left, correct.
Okay. I'll head over just there, I guess.
Sounds
Try and
good.
take those 2.
Chloe, dying kobolds are dying. What are you doing?
Be muted.
Whoop.
No, not muted. Just trying to decide if we want another. The last prisoner we had didn't really tell us a whole lot of information. He looks very similar to that guy, so I think I'm just gonna hit him with my warhammer.
Thankfully,
Or I'm not.
similarity does not include the hit. Any additional bonus action or movement for you?
Nope, that's it.
All right. That's going to bring up really rushes up to Valandra. Dagger. Ooh, a
Oof.
pair of 21s for
Jeez, okay.
3 plus 4, 7 points damage.
Okay.
And then after Raleigh comes Matata. What will he do now that he no longer has the first half of his name? Dagger with advantage this time.
Ooh.
First one's going to score for 6. Then a bad miss on the offhand. Carmen. Trying to show Chloe how it's done. Probably not. Dawn. Back to you. Dawn, I notice you're a little far back. No roofs nearby?
No. But from where he is, double check. He is going to continue the trend, blasting towards Matata. Hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
him
gosh! You just blew
Blow
him
him
up.
off his feet.
There's nothing. There's just nothing. Now, is your Eldritch Blast similar to the gift there, a sort of spinning blade effect?
The way I see it is kind of like more like a raven flying forward,
Okay.
or like the blast effect, but like there's like a raven shape in the front of it, and it just kind of like slashes down with the
Yeah, that's
the beak.
even in the bright midday light. That is a fairly obvious image as it's outlined by the kobold's bits. Any additional action for you?
He's gonna start maneuvering forward since the threat seems far smaller now. He could get to there.
All right, to Lays.
Ah,
Back around to you. At this point, just Carmen and poor little Rayleigh still standing.
Oh, we've got a kobold still standing.
Yeah.
We surely do. Okay.
Rayleigh's like hiding behind Val.
people are exploding around him.
Yeah, the kobolds had it.
Okay, so I'm gonna move up next to Valandra, and I'm gonna whack him with my handbow.
All right. That's
Well, whack
it.
him really good.
Whackity whack.
Really good.
Really? Rally. Anything else for you, Tilly?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Joey, just one opponent remains standing. Carmen, scimitar threatening Chloe. What are you doing?
We're just gonna grab that great axe off the ground and we're gonna introduce that to Carmen.
Intimately.
Carmen gets to know your great axe biblically. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in the brief seconds after Carmen falls, split nearly in twain?
Loot the dead.
Besides loot.
Besides loot.
Well, Dawn will look like give a glance around. Like it seems like this is where they were parked for a time, but just in case. He's the
But this
paranoid
obviously
sort.
isn't all of them, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's good. Where would it be highest? Like over here?
Up
here? He'll kind of like wander up there. And
yes,
just
up there would be the highest point. So up there you can see probably why they have stopped here. Beyond this point, heading south and west, as the path seems to do, the land continues to get rockier, hotter, dustier. This is probably the last place to have a nice picnic. And that seems to be what they were doing. One of the casks that had been looted has been busted open. You can see that tucked into the shade of the cliff face here, and contains a fairly decent vintage of wine, which the cultists seem to have been enjoying. The meats that are cooking over the fire, obviously prepared not on the road, but taken from one of the houses. The kobolds, their food strewn about as you struck them down while they were scampering back and forth with it. The cultists each carry a scimitar and some light armor. The kobolds, their daggers, slings, and stones. Also found amongst them 28 silver pieces and a sack containing pewter candlesticks, silver serving dishes, and a few religious carvings of Chauntea that have been taken probably from a home shrine rather than the temple itself. You would guess somewhere in the 15 to 20 gold value between those items.
So is there anything besides the silver and the sack of loot that we want to take? Nothing sounded particularly.
You want to have lunch?
Barrel of
It's
wine.
It's
Yeah.
already cooking. Shame to waste it.
Fair enough.
Do we
Right.
want to take a short rest and heal up since somebody's kind of hurt?
Yeah, just me, I think.
If you guys would like to take a short rest, you certainly may make the attempt. If you
Okay.
would like to take a short rest, please roll me a d20. You want to roll high.
Are
I
we
can do that.
are we gonna vote for that? Because it just seems to be two of us talking about it.
Yeah.
hold on. What am I rolling? I'll roll
So,
a thing.
if
Do we
you
want to
roll-
take
Well,
a short
it's-
rest?
So here's
Oh.
what it is. You guys have food cooking. You have a barrel of wine sitting there. You got a bunch of dead bodies strewn about. A couple of you are dinged up, and the path ahead is fairly clear. You've still been following Waverly's track signs. You do know, however, if you hold still, the chances that something happens increases. So, if you would like to hold still for an hour, I need a d20, and you would like that number to be higher rather than lower.
So we're hanging out, or are we going?
I mean,
Dawn is not in any rush. He's just like whatever about this whole situation.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Dusk is raring to go.
Talise is more looking at Valandra and at Chloe in particular, and Joey can take scrapes. He looks fine. um, they're they're the ones who should decide. Do you need to take a rest? Do we need to patch you up?
we can take a rest, or I can just cast a spell. Like,
But do you want to
whatever
waste
we
it?
decide. I don't particularly want to waste it. No,
And that,
but
yeah, I don't. I really would rather us save all of our spells. Says the person who cast 2 spells in that combat.
Mhm.
So
Well,
if
why don't-
nobody, does anybody object to a short rest?
Well, I was thinking, why don't we take the lunch to go, and then when we actually have an idea of where this giant bulk of black cloaked hooded people with giant carts would be, we can rest a little bit, before we
Well,
go.
we didn't exactly sneak up on this group enough to get a chance to rest when we spotted them. There's no guarantee we're gonna next time.
Valid point is valid. Also, I'm not the one with the kobold dagger sticking in my side, so
Yeah, you might
That's
want
also
to actually pull that out.
Actually, that's not really good for puncture wounds. You should leave it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hurt, if you're hurt, we gotta rest. This is gonna be a long trek. I think we all need to, be a little more careful, a little more, accurate. And she kind of looks at her warhammer. You're failing me here. You're making me look bad. And just, in general, be a little more careful, of each other. I guess we're all looking out for each other now, and we're all on our own now. If you need to rest, we rest. And I'll take first watch. Oh.
We shouldn't be here that long. Do we want?
Yeah.
Do you need to take a rest, Valandra?
Sorry, I muted. I'll just say I'll watch you back if you need to rest. I don't need to rest. No, we don't need a long rest, I don't think.
No, we would
No.
just need a short rest.
No, just a short rest.
So if you are taking that short rest, somebody volunteer.
Yes, I would be looking out.
So shall I roll?
Go ahead.
Dun dun dun.
Oh,
Ooh.
I never
Ooh.
roll good on these rolls.
On the upside, that is maybe good enough. Chloe, as you are on watch, would you please roll me a animal handling? Your DC is 10. All right. As you guys take your rest and Telaise sings a song of rest. Chloe, you hear a little of a coming from the grass, but you've been in and around Greenest long enough to know you just make a little noise, shake a little stick, and the animal goes away.
So do we get the short rest then?
Please
Okay.
take the benefits
And
of your short
Song
rest.
of Rest is an extra D6, is that right?
yeah. Hang on. I was trying to pull it up and don't have the description in there because I didn't know what I was doing before. It should be yes. Anyone who's using their hit dice add an extra 1d6.
Okay. That brings me perfectly back up to full.
There we go.
And Chloe could potentially take the benefits of that if she wanted to.
Chloe can take the benefits, absolutely may.
Yay, benefits.
And as you guys continue, or prepare to continue on your way, I think I heard that you will be attempting a stealthier approach. Is maybe
Okay.
what I heard.
Like totally up for the people if we want to try that, but just, I'm not going to do well at it.
All right. So let me ask you, who is taking point and looking ahead? Who's in charge of that?
Waverly?
Waverly would. Yeah.
The Waverly is already ahead.
I would be in the front of our group.
Okay. And who is in charge of making sure he stays quiet?
What was that?
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
you cut out there.
Sorry. Who is in charge of making sure everyone stays quiet?
Well, okay, yeah, wait. If we're talking stealthy, I'm not. If we're talking protection, I'm in the front.
No,
I
no.
assumed Waverly would give us advance notice on, hey, shit's coming.
Okay, so
that would be the skull and crossbones.
That would be the skull and crossbones that we
skull-
didn't know what it meant.
But now we do.
So
We
yes,
finally figured it out.
skull and crossbones means cultists, apparently.
Murder.
Not plains pirates, as you all suspected before.
Well, we're all
Uh,
relatively terrible with stealth aside from
Let's
Waverly.
just be
So.
called highwaymen.
Highwaymen,
Mhm.
plains. I like plains pirates.
Along the coast roads I did ride.
All right. So
Ah!
we're going to turn everything black and then turn everything green again. And we're going to add some people back to new map. Dawn. Valandra. Oh, I forgot Edgar last time. Sorry, Edgar.
Hmm.
Dusk. Joey's quick to the pole. Talays. Chloe. Waverly's way up ahead. Please sort yourselves out. You will be walking from east to west. Chloe's taking point. And
I think Chloe's supposed to be on point, Valandra.
she's you guys can pair up in the front. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Chloe, if you would be so kind as to roll me a perception check. Fairly solid. I'm going to roll 2 dice for no apparent reason.
Uh-huh.
No reason for that. Why would somebody roll that dice? And I'm going to ask whoever would like to be in charge of shushing the rest of the party to roll a stealth check. Who is in charge of shushing the party?
Who's got the best stealth?
Or the biggest shushing finger? Either way.
That would be.
Somebody hit stealth.
Yeah.
Ah.
I didn't want to. This is why I don't want to do these things, guys.
And for some reason, we're going to roll another 2 dice. Who knows why? Oh,
Oh God.
yeah.
See,
It's us.
it should have been dusk.
So, as you guys are marching along, marchy. Joey, why won't you stick to your spot? There you are. As you guys are marching past below a low overhang of rock, and coincidentally, some of that rock breaks free and tumbles towards you. Perhaps it's because it's a trap. As the rocks fall,
And
maybe
everybody
everyone
dies.
won't die.
What an interesting sound of rock falling.
Excellent rock fall. That's not me. Oh, that's Athy.
That's great.
There we go. If everyone would please give me a DC 11 dexterity saving throw, it would be very good for you to make this roll.
Okay.
Dex. Excellent.
Yeah, that dex. Dusk is all over it. Valandra, not so much.
Oh,
Woo!
that's a nat 20.
Dawn.
Oh, whoa!
Chloe
That was a nat
saves.
20.
There we go. Who am I missing? Joey on the dex save? What did I say? DC 11? Oh, Joey skims by. Absolutely. So unfortunately, it's only Valandra
Mm-hmm.
who finds out how heavy rocks are.
Aren't you glad we rested?
I am
Valandra,
very glad.
rocks are 11 points worth of heavy.
Oof.
Quite unpleasant. And as the rocks fall, above you, a number of cultists appear.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
Lying in ambush, they've sent the rocks down towards you. You recognize that these are a little bit steeper. Climbing those rocks will be difficult. Go ahead and bring up that turn order. Let's go ahead and clear that off.
Oh, who's Amos?
Hang on here. Sorry, Joey, I wasn't quick enough.
It's
You can roll it
okay.
again. You can roll it again and keep the better of the two.
Ooh, advantage on initiative.
Advantage on addition. Get you all the way up to that 11.
God damn
Wow.
it, Dawn.
All right,
I'm
let's start
just
hitting
not
buttons
up
here.
on things today.
That's almost impressively bad.
Click the
I'm-
buttons.
I'm behind the cultist who rolled a nat 1.
Oh no!
Sometimes these things do happen. But Amos up in the front.
in
Does
in in 3.5, I did have a character who had a -6 on initiative.
Just not paying attention ever.
No, always buried in a book.
That is not a good thing to be, but Amos jumps down from the rocks, long sword in hand, lands next to Joey,
Oh man.
striking one-handed with his longsword twice. He then draws his short sword. Joey, 24, I think, for the 8 points.
Yeah. Yep.
The 11 will miss. He is now longsword and then short. Kid. $10, $20, $30. Steps up next to his leader, swings with his scimitar at Joey. $20, Joey?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shield.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and bring me up to 21 armor class.
That'll bring you up to 21. That'll make Kid miss. He looks quite frustrated. Monica is okay where she is at the moment. Waller, same deal. Alejandro, way back there. Caitlin, hanging out. Gray can move down 10, 20, 30. Scrambling down the rocks, turns towards Joey, makes the scimitar attack. 17, not going to do. Griffith, oh yeah, Griffith. Here. 10. Moves up to the pinnacle of the rock. Big man on the hill. Can't do anything else. From long distance, cultists
That-
call out.
That one
words.
doesn't have a name.
What? Foley, where's your name? They call out words of encouragement, calling their blessings down on the other cultists.
Oof.
Boing. And Therese, as the blessings are bequeathed, what are you doing? I see you measuring things.
Measuring things, yes. I am most assuredly measuring things. Did I catch all?
I think right there. Oh, I think one space to the right would probably.
I have to be careful.
Gap. Okay.
I can't hit Joey. So I like here or here has to be the space that I use. So
Gotcha.
first I'm gonna move.
Okay.
Beautiful. I'm going to move right there.
Okay.
Please help me remember where I wanted to go. Okay, I'm gonna move, and then I'm gonna cast right there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast my last second level spell. I'm casting Shatter. And it will hit everybody within a 10-foot radius. So
Awesome.
that dude is gonna get hit, and all of these guys are gonna get hit. So including
Gotcha.
that one.
All right, let's start rolling some dice. We're gonna go top to bottom, left to right here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. The last of which
Nice.
gets a bonus. And 1, 2, 3, 5. Come on, number 5.
Roll low, roll low, roll low, roll
6,
low.
7.
Low, 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 low.
And that's a lot of low. And wow, that's 16 points of damage.
Okay, on top of that,
Okay,
Shatter
there's on top of this.
anyone who doesn't pass their check.
Okay.
Let me get there. Let me get to Shatter. Hang on. This is why I should add all this information to the bubbles, right, guys?
Yeah.
So,
All right, the 16th, that's 8. Wow, that hurts so bad.
hang on, where is it?
I didn't think Shatter had any special effects, but let me know if it does. I know it breaks stuff, like everything. Oh, you and your DC 14.
Oh, I was thinking of Thunderwave. Never mind. Thunderwave moves people.
That's okay. You have killed a lot of people.
Even that playing field, guys.
Well struck. They just crumple. This whole
I'm
group
so
together.
glad I took this spell, you guys. I'm so glad. I'm so much more useful now.
2 of the cultists remain standing out of the 8 or 9
Good lord.
that were laying in ambush. Talays laughs and cheers, I think.
And guys, so you know, the way she casts that spell is just one long high note. It's beautiful, and she just sings it out real like loud, and then they just clutch their heads and they die, and there's blood coming out of their eyes and their ears and their nose.
Shattered their brain.
I shattered their brains.
It's a beautiful and grotesque sight. Talays, any bonus action left to you?
So I only moved 20 feet, so I'm gonna take the rest of my movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, so I have 10 more feet. I'm gonna back up. Just a little bit more.
Fair enough.
Right there.
And Chloe. But what are you doing?
Right, hearing her voice shattering and killing stuff, I'm gonna turn back to her and just start nodding, and then try and tune in with my own and come around this way, in front of Dusk, and try and protect the fluffy kitty and kill the thing in front of him with no name, or did I just stomp on the name, or this
I
guy
think,
right here?
That
Kid.
is Kid. Ooh, that's a miss, Chloe.
For God's sake. I can't hit anything. It's coming. I'll hit stuff eventually, guys, one day.
Gotta get in tune with your Warhammer.
Apparently.
Any bonus action or additional movement?
Nothing. Nope.
Dusk, Fluffy Kitty.
But Kitty can also attempts to move forward and help. So
She
let's aim a.
Oh,
Oh,
baby.
wow.
Kid's probably having a bad day. Roll me damage.
I like that she's attacking someone named Kid.
Kid, not dead. So not yet in, but you've caught his eye. What would you like to do next?
Well,
Bonus punch.
I could
bonus
punch him again.
You can. Absolutely.
Like, why not? Oh, maybe.
13 is enough. Please roll me damage.
Oh. Oop.
Yes. Heartbroken. Kid dies. Fluffy kitty too much for him. Any additional movement for you, Dusk?
Let's see. How quickly can I can actually get up behind Alejandro. If I just move over there.
Wow.
I had a lot of movement left.
Because you're a cat.
Cat and monk. It's like the
Zip,
combo
zip.
for speed.
Okay. Yes, you do dart around, and as you do so, that brings us to Axel. Axel,
Axel Foley, I love you.
what? Who would put something like that into a game? Axel, what are you gonna do, Axel? Axel, gonna try and burn the kitty. Axel, get the kitty. Sacred flame on the kitty. DC 12. Oh, yeah, I think the kitty's probably gonna be fine. Please give me a dexterity saving.
Would you have to
Which
roll a
is
5?
Yes, something along those lines.
Okay. Let's
Dusk
try.
with the dex save.
And boom.
You are
Yeah.
quite all right. But Axel then invokes a second ability. Which is known as Get the Heck Out of Dodge. And starts running away.
Oh no.
Oh. That's
Dawn.
interesting.
Oh, we gotta stop that, guys.
Dawn can still hit him.
Get him, Dawn! Get him! Get him!
Dawn is actually going to try one of his new spells. He's going to catch magic missile, 2 bolts on each of those guys in the back.
2 bolts on each of those guys.
Yes.
Okay. Magic missile away, please.
So
and who
this
we hitting
one's
first?
for Foley,
Foley first.
and then for Axel in the back.
A 6 and a 5 to strike home. Magic missile's known to do that. But
They
both
won't.
remain standing.
Love that gif.
Pew pew pew.
That's amazing.
Right. Dawn, any additional action?
I think he's good where he is.
All right. Joey.
Like, really, guy? You just had to drop in front of me here? I'll use my bonus action to Hexblade him.
Hexblade him. He is so cursed. Who we
It's
get that
kind of
one?
like, why would you fall in front of me? You look different.
Oh, wait. Who are we hexblading?
Amos.
Amos, sorry. I saw the arrow pointing to someone else and guy.
Sorry, that's me. I'm measuring.
Oh, sorry. Measuring half. Ooh, that's a hit. Yeah.
And then, so that'll be 13, because Hexblade will do another 2 damage.
13 points of damage struck. Joey, any additional action for you?
I'm going to step back.
Okay. Just like to keep it moving. Valandra.
Okay. Alondra. I'll cast Guiding Bolt on Amos.
Amos having a bad day. Go ahead, and that's a hit.
Whew.
16 radiant damage.
Wowzers. You guys jumped up in damage output. That is quite a hit, and the next person to attack will have advantage, but Amos is still standing.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right, and on that is going to Amos. Amos squared off with Joey at the moment, is going to give it his best. The blessing he received still in effect, so he will have an extra D4 on each of these as he attacks with a longsword, and whoop.
I'm gonna use my reaction to use my protection fighting style and give disadvantage.
Oh, that is so mean.
Gotta be good for something.
1d4. The only one that's even possible is the middle one. With 16.
Yeah.
20?
I've had a turn.
Yep.
So that puts shield back down. 20 will do it.
20 will do it. Would an 8?
That's 8, right?
8 points of slashing damage, yes. For the third roll, just to be... No, that would possibly be a 16. That's not even possible. Amos looks a little confused that you guys are offering this much trouble. What mercenaries have they hired? Kid is dead. Alejandro is alive. Holding on there, Alejandro. Attack the fluffy kitty. 20 for 6 points of slashing damage. Dusk. And then Alejandro moves around to the far side to try and get away from all these crazy explosive people. Caitlin, are you alive?
Yep.
Just barely.
Caitlin gets to move in to the other side of Dusk as well. Strikes with the scimitar. 3 points of slashing damage. More to Dusk. Dusk, you are the tank, it seems. Ray is dead. Griffith is dead. Foley. Or Foley. Foley's going to call down the light of his dark god upon Dusk. Dusk, give me a DC 12 dexterity save. You're probably going to make it. And yes, you do. With finesse. And then Foley starts to leg it. As he does, he drops the blessing. And instead evokes a spell of protection upon himself. Let's call it that one. Anybody who would like to know what he's doing, please roll
Please roll what?
Arcana.
Does it have a verbal component? Otherwise, I can't really roll.
It has.
Meh.
Because I'm kind of, getting stabbed by a guy 3 times every 5 seconds.
This is why I can't hit anything. Because I'm wasted on stuff like this.
This does have a verbal component. So for anyone who is above the 10 mark, you recognizing he is calling for sanctuary.
Yep.
But,
And what does that mean?
For certain others, they do not. Sanctuary means an effort of will to be able to target him with an attack.
Yeah, you have to make a wisdom saving throw in order to hit him.
Got it. So targeting may be difficult, but to ladies,
Although it doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects.
absolutely correct. As long as you are not targeting him specifically, you're
I'm
okay.
out of AoEs, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But to ladies, it has come to Axel and Foley are both in retreat. What are you doing?
I'm taking my full movement to put me here, and I was already targeting Axel in the first place, so sorry, someone else needs to go after Foley. And I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on this dude, saying, "Your god's a wuss!" And there we go.
Alrighty. Wisdom saving throw. Oh, insulting. He stumbles. He falls. His faith in Tiamat broken. His spirit along with it.
Booyah! Yes! Deleuze is just
Well-
like, fuck yes, I am a beast!
Not only did you kill him, but you broke his faith first.
There is no heaven where he goes. Chloe, there is still Amos, the veteran, for you. What are you doing?
I am going to try and hit him. We'll
Okay.
see if that works.
That's a hit.
That's a
Oh, for
super duper
God's
hit.
sake.
The damage though. Is that
Too bad he wasn't still at advantage.
is that the what do we got here? You're two-handing it, right?
Wait,
So
I was okay. No, I am not at two-handed. I have a shield, and did I still have advantage to hit him, or?
I don't think anybody has hit him since the guiding bolt.
Yeah,
Okay.
you still have advantage.
Okay. So that is 15 points of damage struck.
And I'd like to use a spell slot to use my Divine Smite. And that would be, technically what?
I would say in the future, I believe you have to cast that before you attack because it's a concentration. But for right now, it's the first time I think it's come up. So go ahead for it.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
For right now, roll it, and then we'll figure it out later. Oh, I'm sorry. Completely wrong spell that I was thinking of. Absolutely. Extra damage, 2d8, first level, +1. Cool. Nice. How much damage are we doing?
Because of a crit, right? If it had
yes.
advantage.
Yes.
I'm just like I'm figuring this out too. I don't know if I'm doing this right. So if I'm wrong, please.
That is correct. Double dice. So, Amos, the veteran, is just flattened as you finally figure out where the warhammer goes in relation to your enemy.
I had been missing the thumb notch the whole time. If you put your thumb right here and then you swing it over your head and then okay, well that's gone now.
Common mistake. Everybody likes to think it's a blood group. It pisses off the smith. Most of them are like, no, it's a fuller. Your guy was like, no, that's a thumb slot. Chloe, anything else you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna travel 5, 10, 15, and get right up next to. Hey, Dusk, how you doing back here? Oh, look, there's some running away. I just killed one back there. I finally hit one.
Yeah, and as you bring up the topic with Dusk has some options. Alejandro and Caitlin stand between her and the fleeing Foley. But what are you doing, Dusk?
Well, let's see. I've got these two right here. So if somebody else can aim it fully, then Dusk can handle these two, hopefully. So aim. Oh, miss. No.
That is a miss.
Okay. That did not work. And try the other one. Boop. Wow, not doing well.
Oh, somebody got cocky and said they could handle them.
No!
Dusk, any movement for you?
Ooh, I could go after him.
You could.
It would take 2 attacks of opportunity.
That's true. Not a good idea. Not moving. Nope.
Fair enough. Dawn.
I was gonna mosey up this way so we could get a clean shot on Foley. Just
See on over. Where'd you go? Keep moving around. Full. That's a hit.
If he can get through the sanctuary.
Oh, thank you. I forgot. Please roll me a wisdom saving throw.
oh yeah, okay.
Do it. He's dead if you do it.
I forget.
That is good enough.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes. That strikes down
Whoops.
Foley
Sorry.
as he attempts to flee. Alondra, thank you for that one. I occasionally forget what my little icons mean. And let's see here. Dawn, any bonus action? Or additional movement for you.
He is to peek around this way, get a 9. What's going on behind the rocks?
Fair enough. That's going to bring us up to Joey.
Okay. So Joey's used to like putting mauls into people and then putting great axes into people, and he knew he was going to have a little bit of a rough time dealing with Amos in front of him, and then he didn't have to. What did you do? Where did all of the people go?
Well, I
Until
got
he's like,
some on
I
my
killed
wall.
them all! I killed them all!
Yeah, good party. It's absolutely a neutral to neutral good party. Yep.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna put my great axe into poor Caitlin here, but I just
no.
I just not into it.
No.
Like
Caitlin,
everybody just fell apart.
Caitlin gives you the puppy dog eyes, I think. Bonus action, Joey?
No
Nope.
bonus. I'll
Got
just
it.
draw a dagger in my
Do you-
offhand.
Oh. Do you have any more movement? Because if you could move one square up, I can actually reach Caitlin. Otherwise, I can't.
Can't you stand on top of him?
I hear a
No.
cough behind
No.
and take 5 feet more.
Excuse me.
Volandra's like chasing
we're
up.
pretty
Joey,
next-
move!
We're pretty next to each other in the initiative order. I
No,
imagine
you're
we'll be
good.
moving at literally the same time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, you may definitely call instructions out to each other, though other
Okay.
people hear them. So, Volandra, what you doing up there?
I will cast Mace.
You will cast Mace. That's a hell of a cast you got there. How's that damage look? That's
7.
quite good. Caitlin can't handle your mace and falls, leaving just Alejandro remaining. Amos quite dead. Alejandro, looks at all of you. Now I'm going to ask for an honest opinion. Do any of you not have murder in your eyes?
Do what?
What?
Do any of you not have murder in your eyes? Like, is there like looking at you? Is there any chance the surrender is going to be accepted? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because Alejandro looks at you guys, sees death, and just tries to go out swinging. Dusk, miss,
Oh.
Tillese.
Okay. So I'm gonna move a little bit. Excuse me. I'm gonna move just a little bit, just to come around the block here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna target Alejandro. And mysteriously, I get inspired to sing a little song to mock him to death with.
All right.
And I go, don't call my name, don't call my name, Alejandro. I'm not your babe, I'm not your babe, Fernando. And that's pretty much how we're gonna do this. Dear God, let it go off.
Oh,
I landed for 1.
Oh, 1 point of damage, however, is all he has. He falls.
He's like, how the hell did you know my name? Ugh.
Like, oh my God, she
No,
knows my name.
He's like, that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my false. Congratulations, you guys have dealt with the laggards that fell behind the main party. You have dealt with the rear guard and the veteran and their ambush. Waverly scampers back to you to let you know that just ahead there's a area between the plateaus where they're all hunkered down. It looks like they've made camp to rest. And we'll pick up with that next week. There'll be a little more information that Waverly will have discovered from scouting. Not quite enough just yet for a level, surprisingly. But thank you very much for playing. We'll break here. We'll take our 5 minutes to grab drinks and such. If anybody would like to hang out for tavern talk, I will be back on, and we'll go from there. Any comments before we do that break?
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was very fun.
Applause.
I'm glad you guys had fun. To any audience that do hop on the YouTube, search for Captain Reboot, hit the follow button, because I would really like to be able to say YouTube/Captain Reboot. I can't. Instead, I got to say some kind of crazy combination of letters and numbers. Drives me nuts, but that's my own personal problem. Please follow. Thank you very much. And I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, guys, I have an exam tomorrow, so I can't stick around for Tavern Talk, and I gotta go and study.
Good luck. Pass your
Okay.
test.
Good luck.
See you guys.